Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Chabad and Friends episode number 5. Today I'd like to talk about two things. One is that this coming week is Eretz Hashem Yud Beis Elul, the 12th of Elul, which is the day when the previous Rebbe, Reb Yeshivos, came to America the first time in 1930. And from the port, he came straight to Borough Park. He stayed at Rabbi Simpson's house and shul, which was in the same building, the same house, on 14th and 46th. And on this coming Thursday or so, I've made a special clip telling you the history about it, and I hope you'll have a chance to see that. But one of the things that I remind myself of is something that Rabbi Yisrael Jacobson, who was the activist, one of the activists, maybe the one who was the most active on behalf of the previous Rebbe at the time, as far as dealing with all kinds of people, in which he related the following. When the Rebbe came to the house, there were thousands of people who came to greet him, and many Rabbonim and Gedolim and other community leaders came to see him. And they wanted to give him shalom. And not everyone can get in. The Rebbe heard about it, and he called in. This is on the same day, on Yud Beis Elul. It was a Tuesday, 1929. It was September 17th, I believe. And he said to Rabbi Yisrael, he said, I was told that many Rabbonim and Gedolim and community leaders came to give shalom, and they weren't able to get in. They were told you can't come in, there's too many people, and they were turned away. And they were quite upset. So Rabbi Jacobson said to the Rebbe, I wasn't in charge. The Kramers, the family that helped bring the Rebbe and pay for it, and they were very, very active that way. They were in charge. It was Rabbi Simpson's house and shul, so it wasn't my domain. I whatever I was asked to do, I did, but I wasn't the balabus. I wasn't the one to make the decisions. So the Rebbe said to Rabbi Jacobson, Yisrael, he said, Yisrael, his name was Yisrael, Yisrael, next Mol Vilichnit, the next time I don't want there to be an excuse. In other words, you have a good excuse. I understand. You have a legitimate reason why you didn't take charge. But the next time there is such an opportunity and people come, I don't want there to be an excuse. Get up. He was on the second floor. Go downstairs. Tell whoever's in charge there at the door that I would like to see any Rav, community leader that wants to come give shalom. They should be allowed in. So he went down and he told the people at the door what the Rebbe said. And I think this is a very important lesson for us. Although we have excuses, and legitimate excuses, but when the job doesn't get done, it's not acceptable. You might have the best excuses. You're not the boss, you're not in charge, but the job didn't get done. And so we learn from what the Frierdiker Rebbe told Rabbi Jacobson, next time, which was shortly thereafter, after I finish speaking with you, is the next time. Go downstairs and make sure that everyone who needs to come in gets in. And that's what happened, and it worked. He told the people at the door that the Rebbe told them this, and they knew that Rabbi Jacobson wouldn't be making up a lie, and when he's a man of truth. And of course, they let everyone in. Another thing that I just heard, and I think it's important to share, is there was, of course, a Baruch Ber Leibovich, the Kamenitzer Rosh Yeshiva, the great tzaddik and Godel and Talmud Chochem. Reb Baruch Ber had a son-in-law named Reb Rueven Grozovsky. Reb Rueven Grozovsky became a Rosh Yeshiva in the 1940s in Torah Yiddishkeit. Reb Rueven Grozovsky made a shidduch for his son, one of his sons, with the only daughter of a famous Chabad chassid, Reb Avram Elia Axelrad, who was the Rav in the Tzemach Tzedek Shul in Baltimore from 1925 to 1952. And this Reb Avram Elia was a great Lubavitcher chassid, an Ovid, a Talmud Chacham. I've written extensively about him and what impact he made on the community. Rabbi Avigdor Miller would always say that who taught him how to learn properly a piece of Gemara, it was Rabbi Axelrad, because he grew up in Baltimore, and Rabbi Avram Elia learned with him. And so other people, other Gedolim, later on were impacted by Rabbi Axelrad. So Rabbi Avram Elia Axelrad's daughter, Ruthie, who I knew and I spoke to, she married one of the sons of Reb Rueven Grozovsky. So in the family, they told over one of the grandchildren, told one of the children and grandchildren of Reb Baruch Ber, related the following: that they found in Reb Rueven Grozovsky's writings, in his papers, that they found the first Maamar that our Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, said, Basi Legani, marked up with ha'oris, with remarks on the Maamar. And again here we see the connection between Reb Rueven Grozovsky of Torah Yiddishkeit, the son-in-law of Reb Baruch Ber of Kamenetz, and the Lubavitcher chassid Reb Avram Elia Axelrad and the Rebbe, that they had a connection. So yes, one was Litvish, and one had this shita, and one had that shita, but Torah is Torah, and we learn from this the importance of recognizing the maila, the benefit and virtue of every Yid, and we should have a gewaldige week of tshuva, ani ledoidi v'doidi li, and take bizoiche to the geula shlema, the complete redemption with the coming of Mashiach now.